Okay, so let's go. So to start with, let's just go back in time a little. In 2010, there was this announcement of a new project called Strangers in the Night, and eventually the same lineup of this project recorded the Temple of Rock album. So can you tell us what happened in the meantime?
What happened in which meantime?
Between the announcement of the Strangers in the Night project and the release of the Temple of Rock album.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, it's like Herman Werbel and we became neighbors, and so and also Pete Way, he was hanging out in the area,
Hmm.
and I was, you know, jamming with Herman, and we asked Pete to join us jamming, and I wanted to play Strangers in the Night material. I hadn't played for a long time, and so and then we added some Scorpions, and anyway, we decided to make it a touring project, and call it Strangers in the Night. And at the same time, I was in the recording studio doing a demo with Michael Voss, and then when I came, when I played some of the demo to Pete and Herman, they wanted to be the rhythm section. And so while I was doing the demo, I asked Michael Voss to help me, if he could help to with some vocal guides. And so he started singing, and I went like, "Wait, you can sing. Why don't you sing the album?" And so we started working together on it. And then Herman and Pete, they became the rhythm section, and so we recorded most of Temple of Rock with Herman and Pete.
Okay, great. And so the album was published under the name Michael Schenker and not Michael Schenker Group. Was it because Gary Barden was not a singer on it?
Well, it's like it's about at this point in time, it's more like I'm celebrating the kind of. First of all, it's a summit. I'm looking back and looking at all the things I have done, and so it's about Michael Schenker. Like Scorpions, UFO, and MSG. And so I'm playing material from, and invited different musicians on the album, additional. So basically, I'm at the stage of celebrating the era of handmade rock, and so it goes under Michael Schenker rather than a particular project because I'm playing material from all different eras.
All right, yeah. But do you plan to record another MSG album with Gary Barden in the future?
Oh, anything is possible.
Mhm. Okay. So after the release of the Temple of Rock album, you then went on tour with several lineups, and in early 2012, you toured the U.S. with Robin McAuley. So how did it
Yeah.
feel to have him on board again? And how do you consider today the Macaulay Schenker group of the late 80s and early 90s? Is it still a period of your time
Say again.
that you like? How do you consider today
Yeah,
the Macaulay Schenker group era?
can you ask the question? What was the question?
It was about the tour you did in early this year with Robin McAuley.
Yeah, Macaulay?
Yeah, and so how did it feel to play with him again?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it was great. Robin is getting better as a singer as he gets older. It was good. It was good fun.
Great. And as far as I am concerned, I really like the Macaulay Schenker group albums. Like, Save Yourself is one of my favorite albums. And how do you consider today this period?
I couldn't understand the question.
Oh, it was about the albums you recorded, in the 80s with Robin McAuley, like Save Yourself and other
Yeah.
albums. Uh,
Yeah.
how do you consider today this period? Do you still like the albums you did back then?
Oh, there were good albums. But what is the question? I don't understand.
It was
what's the question? Do I like the albums?
yeah. How do you remember today? What good memories do you have of the period you played with Robin McAuley?
Oh yeah, we had some good tours. We played with Def Leppard, and we had some kind of hits and so on. And the Robin McAuley era was kind of experiment for me to find out what it feels like to be 50-50, like to
Hmm.
find a singer with 50% responsibility. And so that's what the McAuley era was all about. And it was a part of my past, and when I was doing Temple of Rock and I wanted to go on tour, Michael Voss, he wasn't available. He had signed a solo deal, and so I had to figure out how to go on tour. And so I realized Robin McAuley had sung one song on Temple of Rock and also the Doogie. And so I kind of tried to figure out if Michael Voss is not available, maybe Robin would be available for America. And I asked him, and he said yes. So I decided to do Temple of Rock in America with Robin McAuley, and then Doogie was available for Europe and Michael Voss available for Japan. So that's how it happened that I had different lineups.
Okay. And so this tour eventually led to the Temple of Rock European tour that you did with Herman Rarebell and Francis Burroughs doing the rhythm section. So how did you come up with the idea to have Francis to play with you?
Oh, because I asked Herman, what is Francis doing these days? And he says, I don't know. And so we somebody called him up, and we asked him, would he be interested in doing a Left Drive reunion with Herman and Michael?
Hmm.
and so he said yeah, and so we had him in.
Great. So I personally had the chance to see you in Lyon last May, and the show was simply amazing, full of energy and virtuosity. So are you happy with how the European tour went?
I couldn't really understand the question.
Oh, I just said that I saw you playing a concert in Lyon in early May. You remember playing in Lyon in France?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the show was just amazing, and it was basically the same for all the tour dates you did in Europe. Are you happy with this European tour?
Oh yeah, the European tour went really good.
Great. So we had the chance also to see you playing several kinds of your flying V's, from your personal collection. So how many of these flying V's do you own, and do you have a personal favorite?
Oh, I have all of them, and I always play. I usually play the one that they all have they're all similar, but they all have a little bit of a different look, a different sound. But they all play great, and I usually play the guitar that is the latest model.
Okay, so you are still
Actually, I play on the European tour. I played all four guitars. I played the color guitar, the Strangers in the Night guitar, and the retro guitar, and so I play them in different songs.
Okay. All right. So in last August, you received a Rock Guitar Legend Award from the hands of Doug Aldrich. And so during your acceptance speech, you stated that you were back in the loop of rock and roll, loving what you are doing right now. So would you say that today what Michael Schenker is about is to celebrate the music you love with friends and musicians you like?
absolutely. You know, I started off very early in my life, and in the beginning, and you know, and then the second part was more like developing and experimenting on a musical and personal level. And now, you know, as we are doing the roofing of the era, the roofing of the temple of the era, I mean, the roofing of the era of handmade rock, you know, as we are now entering that stage. So I'm back in the loop to celebrate the end of it.
Okay, but what do you think the end of it is near, or do you still have time, a lot of time to play rock and roll?
No, the end means, you know, we are doing the roofing. And it started with bands like Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Black Sabbath. And, you know, as it's handmade rock, you know, it's not cut and paste. We are coming from an era of handmade rock. And this era is sooner or later coming to an end. But it's now the third stage of that era. And I'm celebrating, you know, for many years to come, I'm celebrating this era. For me, it's now, you know, because Gary Moore is dead, and you know, people are dying one by one, and so, you know, I am celebrating the era of handmade rock while while many people are still alive.
Yeah. Okay. So now you have this new DVD coming out live in Europe, and the set list of the DVD is made of some recent tracks of UFO and MSG classics, and as well as Scorpions songs, even some of which you did not play, like Rock You Like a Hurricane. So would you say that this set list represents what Michael Schenker is about in 2012?
Well, I play Rock You Like a Hurricane because Herman is in the band, and I have to do something for him.
Okay. So he asked you to play it, or did you suggest it?
No, it's just, you know, it's like Herman's song, and Herman's in the band. I mean, we have to play something of Herman, and you know, and so I picked the Blackout and Rock You Like a Hurricane. And you know, that represents Herman.
Great. So do you have some feedback from Klaus or maybe Rudolf about you playing with the legendary rhythm section of the Scorpions?
Feedback about what?
Did you know? So you are playing with Francis and Herman, that many people consider as the best rhythm section of the Scorpions. And did you have some feedback about it from Rudolf or Klaus? Did they tell you what they thought of about you playing with them?
No, we didn't. I think they don't like that I play with Francis because they had a problem with Francis in the past.
Yeah.
And but you know, I have nothing to do with that. So I just do my own Love Drive reunion thing with Herman and Francis, because I started Love Drive tour with Herman and Francis a long time ago, and then it never. And I kind of split from the tour early. And so I never completed it, and so for me it's a completion time with Herman and Francis.
Okay. So on this tour, there was like maybe a comeback atmosphere in the US and in Europe, and in Japan you played several shows which were sold out and in big venues. Would you say that the Japanese audience is still today the most receptive to your music?
I couldn't understand. Say again?
Oh, sorry.
The question. What is the question?
It was about the Japanese dates that you played. You played sold-out shows in Japan this year. And would you say that the Japanese people are the most receptive to your music?
Well, I think they like what I do, and But I have, yeah, maybe so.
And on a personal level, where would be your favorite place to play?
Oh, I always say I love to play wherever there's a good sound.
Uh-huh. And did you find?
I love to play.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, there's two different things to it. One is, if of course, if the audience are great, it's fun to play. But it's also fun to play musically on a musical level when the sound is good and I get inspired to play better. If the sound is horrible, I can't play too well because I don't get inspiration. So for me, the best gigs are always the ones when I have a great sound on stage and I can play well.
Okay. And so you wrote many songs. Are there some songs that you would like to play live, but that you are afraid the audience maybe would not like or would not react to?
I play slightly different sets when I play with different lineups, and so when I play with Gary, I play all the MSG stuff. So sooner or later, I get to play everything.
Great. So on this new DVD, we can see the Michael Schenker Group logo. So does it mean that the lineup with Wayne, Herman, Francis, and Doogie will be recording new albums under the name MSG?
No, it's not MSG's Temple. It's it's Michael Schenker, and I haven't thought of a title yet, but it's under Michael Schenker. And of course, the Michael Schenker stands for many things. It stands for UFO, for MSG, for Scorpions, Temple of Rock, etc., etc.
Okay. And so you will be recording a new album with them. You have planned it already, or?
Yeah. We are recording a new album with Doogie and Herman, Francis, and Wayne.
Great. So talking about next year, there are already some concerts which are planned for the UK and also Finland, and some dates have also been announced in France. So it looks like next year is going to be quite busy for you.
Oh yeah, well, I've been very busy this year too, and I'm planning to be busy the year after too.
Okay. Also, I recently saw an interview of Don Dokken saying that he was recording vocal tracks for a collaborative album with you, made of songs from.
Yeah, I'm doing some.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm doing something with Dokken too.
Yeah, it looks like it's a recording of songs from the Thank You series.
Yeah, that's great. I already heard some stuff. Sounds really good.
Great. So your brother Rudolf was a guest on the Temple of Rock album, and he also played with you on stage at the High Voltage Festival. And Rudolf stated several times that a Schenker Brothers albums maybe would be in the works one day or another. Can you tell us if anything is planned with your brother?
Yeah, we have planned to make a record together, but when we are both available.
Yeah, which is not an easy task, right?
You have to be available.
Okay. All right. So still talking about Rudolf. Do you agree to talk about the Nancy on the Rocks show? You remember that show that was planned in June in France, which was planned to be a family reunion. But in the end, only Uli John Roth came up on stage with the Scorpions, and for one song only. Can you tell us what happened then?
You mean I was supposed to play with the Scorpions?
Well, there was this big announcement, yeah, of a family reunion with Herman Rabel, Uli John Roth, and
Yeah,
also you.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what happened.
Okay.
I have no idea what happened. I heard about it, but then it didn't happen. So I don't know what happened.
Okay. So looking back on the last decade, how would you consider the last decade for you? You had great albums coming out, like I remember Arachnophobiac or Temple of Rock or Be Aware of Scorpions, and maybe also more difficult times. So what look do you have on this last decade?
I didn't understand the question.
Oh, sorry.
What
Sorry. For you, the years 2000, you recorded several albums, like Be Aware of Scorpions, Arachnophobiac, for example. So what would be the best memories of the last decade for you?
What would be the best?
Memories. What?
Yeah, memory.
Yeah.
The best memory of
the last decade of the years 2000.
Oh, the best memory of the year 2000.
Yeah, of the last 10 years, in fact.
Yeah, last 10 years. Let's see, the best memory. Well, the best time of the 10 years started in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
With In the Midst of Beauty.
Okay. All right. So today, how much time per day do you spend playing on the guitar?
How much time do I play on the guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play and discover. I don't know how much time, but I play, and of course when I write music, I play a bit more. But I usually play every day and discover.
And so, would you say that it is easier for you today to write new songs, or it was easier in the past?
Yeah, I'm writing new songs.
And so, you find it easy today to write new songs, or it was easier?
Yeah, because I'm writing. My inspiration comes from the infinite source. It comes from within. I am folk. My joy comes from that my place of creativity is coming from being it's like pure expression, pure self-expression.
Mm-hmm.
So pure self-expression means be yourself and draw the inspiration from the source within, and which means you just come up anything that I can think of that I want to express. I express, and it's endless.
Okay, great. And so I know that you do not listen a lot to other music, but do you still have today a guitarist that you would consider as a hero for you?
I didn't understand.
Oh, I was just asking if you had to pick a guitar player, who would be your favorite guitar player? I know that you like Rory Gallagher a lot, but are there other guitarists that you like very much?
I think I'm not a consumer, and I don't know that many guitarists, but I'm well aware of Jeff Beck and Eddie Van Halen, and they are both great guitarists.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so that would be the last question. Do you still follow today the career of the band you played with? Like, do you still follow the career of UFO, or does it not interest you at all?
Do I follow what?
Are you still interested by the career of UFO? For example, UFO just released an album this year, and did you listen to it, or you are not interested at all in?
Oh, I don't consume. I don't consume. I cannot consume anything. I don't listen to music because I need to be pure self-expressive, and I create. And if I focus on other people, then I'm not doing what I want to do. You know, I get sidetracked and I get influenced by others. It's not I'm not a consumer. You know, I don't even I make an album and I don't even listen back to my music. I only create. That's what my joy is, creating.
Okay, well that's a good line to end this interview. So I just want to thank you a lot. It was really nice, and so I just wish you
very much.
Wish you the best for the next year.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.